Well, and I think that's the thing that, like, probably is the biggest takeaway from this conversation is the ability to recognize that. Like,
Mhm.
recognize when a person is, recognize when a person is more of a hindrance having you in your life in as opposed to someone who just isn't, uh, helping you go in the direction that you wanna go in. If that makes
Mm,
any sense.
yeah. I mean, we just met and we're doing podcasts. Like there's no I don't think there's no headbutts, there's no negative experiences. I feel like it's all learning experiences and uplifting more
Oh,
than
yeah.
anything. Like it's all adding, adding, adding. Nothing is
Yeah.
being taken away. And I
But I
feel
think
like
we've also, like, learned how to be friends to one another because, like, that was it. We didn't even have to really know each other. You know what
mm,
I'm saying? Like, me and you could have been 2 people in a room learning the job together, and that could have been the end of it.
not for real.
It coulda. It
Yeah.
100% could've. But it wasn't because I saw things in you that I liked. I've never met a person who I've never met another, like, creative individual in my life that was, like, tangible. Like, I know creative people, but I've never met someone who, like, took it seriously.
Ooh.
Like, when someone who says, "I wanna do a music video." Okay, cool. If Nelly says she wants to do a music video, she's gonna do a music video. As a matter of fact, she probably is doing one currently.
I still got
So
so many.
so it's like
Ooh.
I never met someone like that who says, "I wanna do this," and then does it. So it was very, 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 very refreshing. Like, when you invited me, like you said, I'll never forget it. 'Cause this is when I was like, "Oh, this girl is, like she's, like, really trying to do something." You were invited me to something. I can't remember exactly what it was, but you were like, "Oh, yeah, no, you're perfect. You're like a model." And I was like, "Girl, I'm wearing sweats. I'm literally in this raggedy building, cold as heck, wearing sweats, and you are looking at me like, yeah, come with me to this thing. It's good exposure. You're a model. You can talk to people and meet people who want to do this and want to do that." And I was like, if I had met her like 5 years sooner, like this really could have been like an opportunity that really would have like changed my life. But I just am not going in that direction anymore. But
Mm, yeah.
it's like when you were talking to me about that, I was like, oh, so this is what it's like to really meet people who care about like art, who
Ooh.
who care about like the integrity of doing creative projects.
Mhm.
Because prior to that, people just were like, "Oh yeah, I model." They would do like a one-off photo shoot with some photographer that paid them, for the rental space, and that was it. And then called themselves a model, or people who said, "Oh yeah, I do music," and they did a in one EP with 2 songs that were covers. It's like when I talked to you, I was like, "Oh, you're the person who says I'm doing such and such," and it's like I can actually go and find it. Like, you know what
Yep.
I'm saying? Like, I don't know how to make it make sense. My mind's
It
all over
make
the place, but
it no, it makes sense. There's a motorcycle. Oh my goodness.
can you hear it?
Oh yes.
I decided to go for a walk.
Ah, I'm so weak. Hey, the luxury of the audio only.
I know. I
Listen.
couldn't sit up in that house. I've been in the house all day.
I don't blame you at all. That's the sun is needed. I will say that. But I do understand. I do understand that motorcycle is
It's
oh,
going.
it is going. That's I need to
Yeah.
get on one of those. But I do understand overall what you're saying. It is hard. And that's why I reached out and was like, I really want us to touch again on friendships because I want people to be encouraged to know like what these two people just met at a job a
Mhm.
year ago and they started a
Yeah.
podcast and they genuinely connect and it's genuine respectful relationship. Like it's possible, it's doable, it's not
Mhm.
hard. Meeting
No.
people that's on the same wavelength as you, it's not hard. It may feel like it because you're in familiar state, familiar city, familiar circles, but when you actually venture out, you're gonna get hurt a couple times. You might become a Nelly. and become a hardcore thug, and don't want nobody to bother you. But then you got people like LOL, probably true, who do what? They just be like Nike and do it. And
Okay.
they are themselves wholeheartedly. And someone who's a thug like me needs to be around people who are themselves wholeheartedly with no hidden motives, no hidden agendas. They understand the assignment and they know what's gonna come out of this
Yeah.
for everybody.
I
So
think
it's
I think what I was able to provide for you was someone who like who can tell you what you need to hear, but not in a way that was like too like harsh.
oh yeah, I can receive criticism from you because it's not you suck. It's I want better for you
Yeah.
and
It's like,
I
girl, can we have an open and honest conversation? Let me tell you something, girl. I love you to pieces. You know I love you. You know I live for you, baby. This ain't it. This ain't it, sis. This ain't it, babe. We gotta figure something out, girl. This ain't
Uh,
it.
I know.
That's
But it's
but
it's
I feel like
constructive.
that's what you need. You don't need someone who's gonna be like too tough because I think me and you are very similar in that way.
Mhm.
Like I say all the time, I don't need anyone to tell me like anything about how I'm doing something. I probably overanalyzed up and down my situation 1,500 times. So I
Mm.
don't need you to tell me I'm doing something wrong. What I need from you is like a moment for me to catch my breath after that. You still hear that motorcycle?
I sure do. They are going.
I think it's taking a lap around the block. I don't know what's going on. I mean, it's like 5 minutes ago. It's crazy. Um, but I am my biggest critic.
Yeah.
I don't need anyone to be a critic of me. What I need someone to do is be a supporter of me. And once
Yep.
I feel like you support me, then I can hear what you have to say. But
Mm.
until then, all I'm gonna hear is what I'm saying about myself in your voice.
Yep.
And that ain't it. Because
Mhm.
that I don't need to hear that. I'm hearing it without even wanting to hear it already. I don't need to hear it in your voice.
Yeah.
I really don't.
Especially when you don't really construct anything. Like you're
Okay.
criticizing me with no constructive experience at all.
Yeah, or you're criticizing me and you have literally no like repertoire about what I'm doing.
Repertoire.
Repertoire. You have
What does
no
that word mean again?
experience.
What does that mean again?
To have like a repertoire is like to have like a catalog. Like
Mm.
if someone were to come to me and say, "Hey, do you have some advice about doing a podcast?" I have a repertoire. Oh yeah, let me
Mhm.
tell you something. I got 2 seasons under my belt. Let me
Mhm.
tell you a little something about doing a podcast. And if I don't have the answers for you, guess who I know who does even more for the podcast? My homegirl Nelly. Like you know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Like, and if you don't have a podcast under your name, don't tell me nothing about my podcast, baby. Don't tell me
Ooh.
nothing about my podcast
Repertoire.
repertoire,
Repertoire,
cause
repertoire.
you ain't got no wind beneath your wings to have a
Oh
conversation
my
about.
god.
I'm on one tonight. It's the walk. It's
It's
the
the
walk.
walk.
It got my blood pumping.
It's the walk. It's the pump and the walk.
It's got the blood.
And
I got my good shoes on too.
oop, it's the good shoes and the pump and
Got
the walk.
I got my walking shoes on. Got my blood pumping, honey.
Oh my, at 11:26.
Okay.
Oh my
And
goodness.
I'm walking down the alleyway. I'm really living on the edge.
No, you are. And I need you to turn
Mhm.
back around.
I know. I need to turn back around. I know. I'm like, where am I? Where did I stumble upon?
Oh my goodness. Well, this has been a very heartfelt. I feel like this was very meaty. I feel like we touched.
Yeah.
I feel like we did a good job. I feel so bad sometimes when we don't stay on topic. I feel
I
like we stayed
know.
on topic and we roped around a little bit, but I feel like we kept coming back to the
We
center.
tried. We tried. I know 3 times it came out of my mouth. Okay, let's get back on topic. So we tried.
We did though. It was
We tried.
intentional. I feel like it was very
Yeah.
intentional. I feel like even though these are going to
Excuse
be
me.
audio only episodes moving forward for the rest of season two, I feel like we should be extra and like be on FaceTime on our MacBooks. Obviously, this
Okay.
is the listeners. I mean, y'all don't need y'all good. Y'all can just listen to our voices. But I feel like because it's I don't know. I was cracking up laughing. I'm like, I can't only imagine what his face looks like right now when he said that.
Girl, you know that hat with the balls on the top. I'm wearing it, and I'm shaking them balls.
Pause.
Was on the balls.
Ooh,
Oh,
oh my goodness gracious.
oh.
Are you almost back home? Because
Now,
Spotify, podcasters, Apple.
y'all are here in the heart of Louisville, baby. I done made it. Child, I'm only 5 minutes from downtown.
Oh my goodness
I
gracious.
live that
Well,
close.
I
Well,
know,
you
but
know now. You know now.
yes, I do. But I know that the area is a little dark too.
Oh yeah,
So,
it is very dark. I can't see in front of me.
uh,
Oh, I was about to walk across the street, but there's someone who's walking on the other side. I'm gonna say right here.
oh my goodness.
I
Okay.
know. I'm living on the edge, honey.
You really are at a sir, it's 11. Okay, you know what? Anyways,
I gotta get my
um,
rounds in.
I'm here for it.
I gotta get my steps in. I got a dog stuff. He'd be like,
I feel like I'm all tapped out. I feel like my heart and mind is clear. Do you feel like your heart and mind is clear?
I feel good. I feel good about what we talked about. I feel good about where the direction of this podcast is about to go.
Mm-hmm.
I feel good about what we were able to accomplish today. I feel good that we're able to come back to it because we were at a spot where we could have just said, I think we're good on the podcast. We
It
could have
was getting
been.
there. It's getting
We
there. It was getting
we
there,
could have
yeah.
been. We were both getting really comfortable in our lifestyles without the podcast. We could
Yeah,
have been. We could have been done.
it was getting there.
But
I
I'm
was
glad
looking
that.
though.
Okay.
I was looking for ways. I was like, there's no way that we got to be done because someone
I.
asked me, like several people have asked me,
Me
and I'm like,
too.
so it's
Me
like
too.
the 20 views we get on the videos, like those are people that we
The
know.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I think my mom said this and it touched me. It really, really, really touched me. And she was like, you've done the plays. We thought that was your thing. Maybe it wasn't. We knew you loved it, but she was like, you doing the podcast? She's like, that's your thing.
Oh,
She's like, that is your thing. She's like, you sound like you enjoy it so much. She was like, you sound like you had so much fun. You make Nelly laugh like crazy. She was like, I think that's like what you're supposed to be doing. I know. I
that's gonna
know.
be like it. You know what? I've slowly, maybe not even slowly, but what I've tied it to, just hilarious, just with the mess.
Yeah.
I've been like, even though I don't like watch all of her stuff and like dive into like her whole comedy, her comedian style,
Hmm.
I or comic style, however you say the words. But when I see that she was on the Breakfast Club, like she went from doing just with the mess, my news is real and being funny, and then
She went
being on the
from
breakfast,
Instagram,
yeah, and
and then she was on Wild and Out,
yes,
and
and I'm
now she
thinking to
does the
myself
Breakfast
like,
Club.
I feel like the video, the videos will come every once in a while for like special episodes. But I'm a firm believer that we continue to do it this way with audio. I feel like it's gonna be on and popping. People are gonna really tap in because now more than ever, with all the craziness going on in the world, I be needing an hour or at least 45 minutes of somebody's voice in my ear while I'm going
Yeah,
through
just
what I'm
cutting
going
up.
through.
Yeah,
Yeah, relatable topics, of
for
course,
sure.
but yeah, I'm satisfied. My heart and mind is satisfied.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good about what we had to talk about too.
Cool, cool. I'm hearing people. I'm probably gonna call you after I stop recording to make sure that you're good.
I'm gonna be all right, girl.
Okay. Well, I hope you guys liked it, loved it, and want more of it. Mm.
I sounds good to me, baby. Sounds good to me, girl.